So this is the 23:55 hours GMT edition of the Khoodeelaar television channel, broad editions on the Khoodeelaar television channel on the internet, not on satellite, not on terrestrial, not on cable. This is Saturday, 11th of March 2023, and we are continuing to comment by way of updates on the fallout for the BBC following their latest capitulation to and complicity with the agenda pushers in the UK government and UK Parliament, fronted by the Indian origin descendant Rishi Sunak and the Indian origin via Kenya in East Africa. Interior Minister in the United Kingdom, Suella Cruella Ivila Braverman. So this is something that is, as at this moment, describable as the most important political event occurring within the United Kingdom and about the United Kingdom, because there are various aspects, various facets to this, and we shall discuss this collection, combination, list of facets and aspects. First of all, this is the latest episode created by the Conservatives by using the mental slavery of the Indian origin occupants in the UK government. Suella Ivila Cruella Braverman. Her actual name is Fernandez. The Braverman is a name, so she is boasting as being a name representing her Jewish husband. Now, Suella Ivila Cruella has not been married that long, but she has been trying as a relatively new member of parliament for the Conservatives to get on the bench, and she has got that. Current front bench in the United Kingdom government, fronted by the Indian origin, but India-born, British-born Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister, incumbent. The problem with him is that he is not very bright, that is to say, he is intellectually deficient, and he doesn't seem to have understood or read logic. Because every single day that Rishi Sunak makes a pronouncement which is based on scripts, the announcement while in post as the Prime Minister, he does that by failing to logically present a coherent logical statement or create or promise a coherent logical scenario. For example, if he goes to France, which he has done, and based on his visit to France, if he makes the claim that he is now sorting it, then that is logical because he's saying that new legislation is needed to stop the people crossing the channel into England. That is illogical. And that makes both of his kind of moves, if you like, weak and lack in integrity and rigor and evidential substance. In the last 48 hours, during which time Gary Lineker, the name and the contact with the BBC, they have dominated the mainstream news agenda in the United Kingdom. Not Sunak, not Suella, Ibila, Cruella, Braverman, not anything else. And the United Kingdom's latest brazen violation of clear treaty obligations. The UK remains currently actively signed up to several dozen very relevant international treaties. And almost all of those treaties relegate the signatory state to a lot lower level of assertion than the international community, the international platform, the international duties. Now, it is very significant that none of the newspapers, none of the so called commentators on the newspaper's contents, none of the other people who have come on, including associate so of which Twitter is the one that we mostly study. Those platforms are so, to our understanding, to my knowledge, has referred to the duties that the United Kingdom remains obliged to uphold the rights of the refugees, to uphold the rights of the asylum seekers, and to not only facilitate their seeking asylum and refuge unhampered, unimpeded by any racism, any prejudice, any discrimination. So, when they say that they're going to introduce new legislation to stop the boats, small boats, which is what the headlines are saying, bringing refugees, migrants to the shores of the UK. They do that quite ignorantly. And the entire country, the entire establishment, the entire mainstream, including the so called mainstream so called opponents or critics of the government, are at one as being in the total, absolute, depraved darkness about the UK's international obligations. Now let's check as we are doing this broadcast now into Sunday, the 12th of March 2023. Let's see what the main news about Now, here is the question that we have just spotted, and it shows 3 days ago, and it's on the Sky News website, which has the heading: Is the government's new illegal migration bill legal? Now, that is a significant heading because the Home Office backlog of more than 160,000 cases and the small number of countries the government can send failed asylum seekers to has seen many describe the bill as unworkable, while other critics describe parts of it as nonsense, risky, and unsafe. Now, this is a piece by Sky News reporter Lara Key. Key is spelled Keay. The government has promised the new illegal migration bill will ensure anyone who arrives illegally in the United Kingdom is detained and swiftly removed. But is the bill itself even legal? Is the bill itself even legal? Which is absolutely critical question. That question currently remains unanswerable as there have been no cases under the new law and any formal legal challenges are yet to be brought. Suella Braverman has said the legislation will stop the boats after more than 45,000 people risked their lives to cross the channel last year. But with the Home Office backlog of more than 160,000 immigration cases and only a small number of countries available to which the government, that is the UK government, can send failed asylum seekers, many have branded the bill unworkable. Well, it is unworkable even before seeking any opinion by critics. Several legal commentators have already expressed reservations over whether or not the law is compatible with the UK's commitment under international treaties, including the European Convention on Human Rights. Now, this is what they are saying about the treaties for the first time. I'm noticing this on the mainstream news. And what paragraph number is that in? One, two, three, four, five. The fifth paragraph. It's not the first paragraph. It's not the second paragraph, not the third, not the fourth. It is on the fifth paragraph, which means that even Sky News, editing this copy, thinks that international treaty obligations are of the fifth order of importance, not the first order, second order, third order, or the fourth order of importance by the UK state. All legislation in the UK must be compatible with the rights guaranteed under the European Convention on Human Rights. And how is that? Because the Human Rights Act 1998, which was passed by the UK 1998, says that all legislation in the UK must be compatible with the rights guaranteed under the European Convention on Human Rights. As such, when introducing a bill for its second reading before the House of Commons, a minister must tell MPs that they are either confident it is compatible with the European Convention on Human Rights, or that they are unable to say it is compatible, but they wish to proceed with it anyway. Now, when I started the campaign phase against the actual bill, the Crossrail Bill, which was introduced in the House of Commons by Alistair Darling, who was Tony Blair's transport minister at the time, I said in my statements and speeches and publications that Alistair Darling had lied when he said that the bill, the Crossrail Bill, was compatible with the European Convention. My condemnation of Alistair Darling as a liar on the House of Commons was never refuted, challenged, or denied. Now, when that happens, it is almost 50% proof that the particular measure is flawed, severely flawed. Now, when the UK government will say that it's not compatible with the ECHR, Suella, Cruella, Evila, Braverman preferred to say that it doesn't comply with the ECHR. And the Sky News copy says that this does not mean the bill is definitely illegal, but is an acknowledgement that challenges may be more likely to succeed, which is what in effect happened with my campaign against the Crossrail whole plot. Because I issued many updated versions of the legal notice that we will be taking the UK government, fronted by Tony Blair, to the court on constitutional law grounds. And the fact that we said that so many times, and the UK government and the so called government lawyers never challenged our rejection, showed that they were already losing, and they lost. Eventually, they lost. Now, this is a short introduction to our edition here. We shall continue in the next edition. This is 0013 28 hours GMT, and this particular edition is 19 minutes 34 seconds long. We shall end this one at this moment. We shall continue with the lengthier editions later.